up? Hey. I know, I'm fucking horrible at intros. Horrible. I can't even do one because I don't know what to say half the time. I hope everyone's having a good day. Hope everyone's doing well on this Friday night. And we are getting into the weekend of football, my friends. This is, can the Eagles get to 5-2? You know, a lot to look forward to this week. Cincinnati Bengals, trade deadline, a lot of rumors, a lot of stuff, what to believe, not to believe, all of that stuff going on, a whole bunch of stuff. I want to say hi to everybody in the chat. We got Real FU. What's going on, man? So Webfoot, what's going on, man? Let's get ready to rumble. What's going on, dude? James Odell, what's going on, man? Happy Friday to you as well, man. Hope you're having a good day. Ethan, what's going on, man? Says, what up, what up, Joey? Let's get a big trade. We'll see what happens. Living the dream. What's going on? We got James Haynes. What's going on? How's it go hanging, Joey? Happy Football Friday, bro. We are ready to go. There's a lot riding on this game this week. You know what's the funniest thing about this game against the Cincinnati Bengals? The funniest thing about this is that the last couple of weeks, the Eagles and the Cincinnati Bengals have pretty much faced the same exact teams. Cincinnati has faced the Giants and the Browns. The Eagles have faced the Giants and the Browns. Not a lot to look at, but obviously from their defensive rankings, their offensive rankings, a big injury for Cincinnati yesterday or today. I think it came up on the injury report today. So it looks like T. Higgins has a quad injury. Okay. Now I understand that, you know what? Every time the Eagles beat somebody that has injuries, we're never credited, or fans really don't credit ourselves for really beating a team when they're not fully healthy. Okay. T. Higgins has a grade 1 quad injury, probably going to be out for a couple weeks. He is questionable now for Sunday. So not only they lose one of their top receivers, so I don't feel bad. I honestly don't, because we didn't have A.J. Brown for 3 fucking weeks. If we lose a game without A.J. Brown, then it's, we're a bad football team or whatnot. But, when you didn't have Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown in for a game, yeah, it really sucked. It was horrible. But so T. Higgins might not even play on Sunday. Still, rankings for the Bengals, really, if you look at it, offensively, yards per game, 14, so their average. Rushing yards per game offensively, 28th. Not great. Run game hasn't been great. Passing yards per game, 8th in the league, which is pretty good. They have 2 good receivers, only going to be 1 in this game this week. Points per game, 10th, which isn't bad at all. But defensively for them, they're not great against the run. They're not great against the pass. They give up some points. So I think the defense for Cincinnati has looked a lot better as of recent. But like I said, as well as we have played the same teams pretty much the Bengals have played when it comes to the Browns, when it comes to the Giants. So that's where we're at with the rankings, what the Bengals look like. At this point, okay, from Joe Burrow's press conference, really talking about the old days, the Eagles haven't faced the Cincinnati Bengals since 2020. We sacked him 8 times that game. I don't know. Was that the tie? Was that the tie game that we had with them back in 2020? I think. Well, we were pretty freaking horrible. I'm trying to remember if that was the tie game with the Bengals. I think it was. Wasn't it? I think so. Yeah. So it seemed like Joe Burrow really didn't give the defensive line for the Eagles a lot of credit. He was like, oh, thank God Fletcher Cox is retired, and thank God this with him, that he's sitting on the couch having a steak dinner. That's what he said about Fletcher Cox. That's what he said. But yeah, I don't know. Eagles have to run the football, and Chris says ground and pound. I agree. I liked how they used Saquon Barkley last week. I really liked how the Eagles were actually running from sideline to sideline with him. At least that outside run, it was something that the Eagles really didn't use this year. So it was nice to see that they actually weren't just running him north and south. They were doing different things with him. I mean, I want these running backs in the receiving game as well. But I think offensively, I don't think they're going to be able to handle Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, even with Dallas Goedert still out with the hamstring. Mekhi Becton's still out with the concussion. It looks like, I don't know if he's going to be cleared for Sunday, but it looks like Tyler Steen will take that right guard spot. Fred Johnson still at that left tackle spot. Obviously, Hendrickson is a defensive end that we have to watch out for because he is really good. Okay. I thought Fred Johnson tightened up pretty well against the Giants. The Giants really only gave us a quarter of a fight, and that was pretty much it. But the number one problem for the Eagles right now is getting a fast fucking start. The Eagles are ranked like top 3, okay? Top 3 in yards after the first quarter, okay? The first quarter, the Eagles are ranked almost dead last, or pretty much dead last, because the Eagles don't do anything in the first quarter. Can't even score points right now. They need a fast start. Whatever these plays are scripted in the most negative way possible, they have to scrap the idea, scrap the plan, and they need these quick starts. The philosophy of this offense needs to change. I honestly feel like this should be a run-first team. Now, Nick was on WIP a couple days ago, so they asked him, people on radio were like, so we're a run team now or something like that. He said, yeah, we were. For that game, we were. It's like, no, bro. I think this offense should run through Saquon Barkley, honestly, because there's way too much that they have to worry about. I figured if you run the ball, and I'm not saying like every game is not going to look good. Like the Browns shut down the run game. Okay, we all know that. But we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of potential here. This game is really important. It really is. I thought after that first series in the third quarter, they looked like a completely different fucking team. Like they looked great. Other than obviously Hurts missing some wide open guys, I thought they played pretty good. There was really nothing to complain about this past week. I couldn't. And obviously there's a lot of people that were against me this weeks prior to this game against the Giants. Okay. I came out with a better positive attitude of this game. I think this offense is starting to grow. I think this defense is definitely went through its bumps and bruises. I knew the defense star of the season. I said this before to you guys. The defense was going to go through its growing pains. New DC, a lot of young faces. I think Fangio is starting to use his players. I think he's really starting to see the defense really settle down. The pass rush looked great last week. Obviously, I know it was against the Giants, but you got to give him credit for it. I mean, I wouldn't have thought Nolan Smith would have had a sack or been pretty disruptive. Not even just a sack, but he got into a couple. He was very disruptive. Bryce Huff got a sack. Josh Sweat got into it. It was really nice to see that. So we'll see where it goes, man. But it's a big week. We'll obviously go over the trade deadline as well. What's going on, Hector? Dennis, if Higgins is out, please, Vic, leave Quinion shadowing Chase all game. Safety help over the top here and there. But let him man up against an elite number 1. I agree. I totally agree with that. Do I think they're going to do that? I'm not really sure. But if it's just Jamar Chase, I mean, it's already the Bengals don't really have a successful run game. If they could shut down Jamar Chase and limit him and make Joe Burrow stick in the pocket a little bit longer, I think the Eagles could get to him a bunch of times on Sunday. Remember, this game was flex, guys. The game is not at 4 o'clock. It is at 1 o'clock. Des says Slay playing good last week, but Chase is different, and youth and athleticism will be needed to contain him. Totally true. Chase has got a lot of speed. He's all speed most of the time. Great player. We all know that. Robert says, afraid Hurts cannot keep up in a shootout. Eagles will have to throw in since he airs it out. 3 passing touchdowns for Burrow is far superior to Hurts. Cannot make the easy throws to save his life. Well, it's not really making the easy throws. I think if they if they get him with a rhythm with the run game and check down the ball, I think Hurts can be clutch at moments. The problem is if you make him play hero ball the whole game with an empty back set, no safety blanket, not using middle of the field, no slants, no crossers, nothing to really give him anything to, to make it easy and simple for him, you have to cater to this quarterback and what he could do. Okay, sitting him back with no help is not going to. He's going to make mistakes. Now, he's already been through 2 games already. Okay, turnover free, which is huge. Okay, but the offense has got to work for Hurts. It's got to work for him. Okay, check the ball down. Use middle of the field. Running for verts is not gonna. It's not gonna make him successful this year. So he only threw 14 times last week. He didn't have to throw over that last week because the run game was just killing them last week. I thought they did well. I thought Barkley obviously had a monster game. Kenneth Gainwell played really good. You know what I mean? And then really the Giants threw in the towel. And then we had backups in the rest of the game. Wentford Ace is the first quarter is all Dick. I probably agree. I don't know how you don't have this right yet. I really don't. And then after that first series, you're up, not even that, but you're up 14-0 against the Giants. You still throw 3 fucking times straight. I don't get that either. You know what I mean? We're just nitpicking at this point mostly, But Charles, with the donation, thank you so much, man. I didn't say anything, but thank you so much, my friend. I don't know why it's not showing up on here clearly. That's kind of weird. I don't know why it's not. Appreciate it so much, Charles. Des, you can't compare missing T. Higgins to A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Lane Johnson, Mekhi Becton, and Jurgens for part of the game. No, it's true. I mean, whenever the Eagles lose Lane Johnson, they have issues, okay? What's worse about the situation right now is that, this is Hurts' blind side. So, this is one of those moments where every team now, since Jordan Mailata is out, is really going to hone in on that side to get pressure. Brian Burns had the best of us for a few plays here and there, but I thought I thought Fred Johnson did a good job. Fred Johnson, unfortunately, has got to play in this game because if Mekhi Becton is not playing and Fred Johnson plays really bad, they're going to have to stick him in there for the rest of this game. We'll see how it goes. Parson, I'm going to be honest. I really don't think we could pull off this win unless our play calling is good and consistent throughout the whole game. We haven't been since beat Cincinnati in 24 years. Look, I get it. You're not going to win any game like that. You're not going to win any game like that at all. But I mean, obviously part of it's going to be good play calling. And how sooner is Kellen Moore going to take over play calling a lot more in games? So if it's 70% Nick and 30%, 70% Nick and 30% Kellen Moore, when is it going to be 80% Kellen Moore and maybe 20% Nick or something like that? The first quarters are hurting because you're not going to win a playoff game that way. You're not going to do that. They have got score 3 points. I don't care what the fuck you score, but they need to do something. Robert says Eagles' best offensive players this makes me sick. Barkley, Brown, Johnson, Mailata, Smith, Goedert, Dixon. Then maybe the shitty Hurts. Tubes Most Want say, hey, Joe, I watch your channel in the AM a lot with my morning coffee. Keep the good work. Appreciate it, Tubes Most Want. Thank you so much, man. Oh, yeah, those 3 AM videos always come out. I already have another video for tomorrow, so. Robert said he had so many easy balls, did not throw. Yeah, I get it. But here's the thing. When it's Jalen Hurts, everybody, I get it. I was pissed off through that game. He missed, 3 open. I think I only remember 2. I know there was maybe 3 or 4 wide open guys. The Devontae Smith. He missed Devontae Smith on that mesh or that crosser to the left side. And then he missed Saquon Barkley in the end zone on that wheel route or whatever he ran to the end zone. I know he missed him on that. They hit that 4th and 3, and then they pretty much just decided to throw the A.J. Brown lineup on the linebacker, and that was a bad. I don't know. Saquon Barkley even said he thought that was a bad play. That's a big risk. You're on the other side of the field, and if you don't get that, it's turnover on downs, and momentum has changed over to the Giants side. Beastguard 24 of the Super Chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, I saw Bradford yesterday throw a touchdown to his third option. I know the play calling be bad at times, but shouldn't Hurts be able to make these simple reads? See, Greg Cosell said he can't make the simple reads. even though I don't think Jalen Hurts is playing at the top of his game right now, I don't think it's impossible. Okay. He's saying he can't. I don't think he can't. I think he can. Okay. They're making it seem like he can't. It's impossible for him to do it. I don't think that's the case. I think he can. I think he will have, hopefully going to this game on Sunday, he will get these easy yards and stop missing some of these guys that are wide open. So we'll see what happens. But I'm not off of that. I know that news probably came from Greg Cosell that had a big thing on Hurts saying he can't make those easy read throws. I don't think it's impossible though. That's honestly, I saw a team having fun last week, and when you have fun like that, you win a lot of games. They look loose but intense. Yeah, I thought they looked really loose last week, no doubt. Even watching the mic'd up from Saquon Barkley against the New York Giants, they looked like they were having a lot of fun. Kind of remind us of 22 all over again a little bit, just kind of like a starting, this is like a nice starting sequence for them. The 4 games they really had to win, guys. I mean, realistically, you're going through a schedule now where you get tested every week, not by the best opponents, but, you beat the Browns by 4. Wasn't happy with that, but they got the win. They beat the Giants, and they should have beat the Giants the way they beat the Giants. That's how they should beat teams. I think this is another test this week for the Eagles, no doubt. Robert says, my God, it's not 20% Nick Moore calling the plays. It doesn't matter. Look, Brian Johnson was holding the playbook last year as well. 100%. It doesn't matter who's holding the playbook and who's calling it. It doesn't matter. If Nick is in charge of the game plan and hands his game plan over to a coordinator, it's Nick's game plan. I'm not saying 100%. It's definitely not 100% Nick. But I think since that first game against Green Bay was probably one of the most highly called Kellen Moore type games I've seen. And then it kind of dropped off from that spot a little bit. Really, I didn't see changes in these games against the Falcons and some of these other games we had until the second half. And I thought this was another game where we saw a little bit of Kellen Moore in the second quarter. Nick Sirianni was in the first quarter. After that first series in the third quarter, I thought the offense changed completely. Completely changed. Webfo the super chat. Thank you so much, man. I see. He says, I think our O-line needs credit with 2 starters out. No, I agree. Thank you to Jeff Stoutland, man. Jeff Stoutland is turning it up. Mekhi Becton definitely hurts, but Tyler Steen, I thought Tyler Steen on the run blocking was fantastic last week. Fred Johnson is going to have his bumps and bruises, but you know what, guys? This is good for Fred Johnson because he gets playing time like this. God forbid an injury happens again down the road. Fred Johnson can go right back in there. You know what I mean? This is sometimes these injuries are blessings in disguise because it gives guys opportunities. Instead of Mulata being healthy all year and then gets hurt in the playoffs, and then Fred Johnson goes in there and whiffs on a lot of blocks. You have a guy now that has some starting experience. Not only I think he's a little bit better on the left side than the right side, but he could play both sides. But now Becton with the concussion that potentially he could be out on Sunday, they're going to have to keep Fred Johnson at that spot, Tyler Steen at that right guard spot. So that's where we'll be. Part of the Fly says, Joey, did you see the Saquon Barkley mic'd up video? He is such an awesome player and a fantastic teammate. Makes me love him even more. Such a beast. I know, man. So unselfish, man. Seriously. I mean, just even not, he was 13, 14 yards against his career high. Could have had his career high in rushing against his own team. He thought he put enough damage on that team with 100. He could have ran over 200 yards easy. Okay. Hopefully the Eagles continue this. And, Saquon Barkley should average 140 a game if it goes well. At least 130 to 140 a game. He really should. He should have over 900 yards rushing right now compared to the 10 rushes he had a couple games ago. You know what I mean? He would have had a lot more yards. He'll hit 1,000 yards easily. I mean, fucking easily. Robert said, I wish I could type better. Hurts never made the reads across the middle. He's an RPO QB that is not bad, but they brought more to go Hurts and put his big boy pants on. He is just not doing. There's a lot of plays that happen in that Giants game and a lot of other games where they're not using middle of the field. Okay, if you're only working on 2 guys on verts on the left side, 2 guys on verts on the right side, or guys that are running vertical type routes that aren't getting open, or by the time the pressure gets to Hurts, it makes no sense. I thought there's been a lot of third down, bad play, third down calls. Okay. Even the Browns, even on the Browns, that 3rd and 1, 2nd and 1, Saquon Barkley doesn't cross the line. It's 3rd and 1, and you drop your quarterback back on 3rd and 1 when they're showing blitz. It makes absolutely no sense. There's been horrendous 3rd down calls, horrendous 4th down calls. We know this because we've seen Nick Sirianni be a little bit too aggressive at times. I know he wants to put confidence into his players, but that's just the truth. Like I said, Hurts, you can't make him play hero ball, Mr. Gunslinger ball with no backup, with no safety blanket, with no check down. It's just not going to work that way. I don't know what you're expecting from Hurts, but he's not going to make those fucking throws every time. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. This is a dink and dunk quarterback. You have to work for those big plays from Jalen Hurts. Whether he throws short, whether he checks the ball down, those big plays are going to produce. But if you don't give the defense anything to worry about, if you're just going to throw downfield every single time, you have you gotta use what the defense gives you. If they're showing that, hey, Saquon Barkley gets an easy check down for 5 to 8 yards of free yardage, take the easy fucking yards. Like I don't get it, man. I understand it's like, oh, Hurts this and Hurts that. It's like, I understand, but you're putting your quarterback into a bad situation. Unfortunately, he ain't Patrick Mahomes. He doesn't have the best pocket awareness in the fucking world either. You know? Midnight said, we put up 30 plus versus the Packers in Brazil. That was awesome display of offense. Yeah, that was the most Kellen Moore-esque called game I've seen this year. Especially getting these running backs into the passing game, which is fantastic. Robert said, they need to keep ball in Barkley's hands and go back to 22 and RPO style like ball. They ran a couple of RPOs in that game against the Giants. It was only a couple times that one to A.J. Brown. These quarterbacks, these defenses are going to bite on that fake handoff, and it was actually really nice to see. It was actually really nice. Even some of the read options. I mean, as much as I hate read options at times, the way they use read options early in the season, I didn't like because they used to just run with Jalen Hurts on off a read option. They just made it so predictable that he was going to keep the ball for himself. I didn't really like that. But they actually used a couple times they did it and it worked. And then they went away from it. And then, they go back to things that work. That's what they should do without looking predictable, Reggie says the Bengals have 2 linemen out for this game. No more excuse. Who's out offensive line wise? I thought they were healthy for this game. Besides the T. Higgins news, I thought offensively, I know they're missing a starting safety. I know they're missing 100%. They're missing, I forgot his name, but I know they're missing one of their starting safeties out there as well. Fluid forward 6, what's going on, man? So I want Barkley to retire an Eagle if he could stay healthy. Yeah. The reason why Barkley stays healthy with the Eagles is because he's not making guys miss in the backfield. Okay. Every time Barkley would get the ball with the New York Giants, they wonder why he couldn't stay healthy because he's taking hits on the fucking handoff. He most likely had to make a guy miss in the backfield. How many times is he doing that with the Eagles? Not that much. He's barely getting hit in the backfield at all. The percentage is night and day. Okay, you get Barkley to that second level. I mean, yeah, he's going to be more durable that way, no doubt, down the line of the season. There's no doubt about it. Steven says, I like how Saquon was talking shit to Newman after he tried saying shit to him. Yeah, but you know what? He actually respected him, too, at the same time, because after he got to the bench, it's like, he's a good player. He's a good player, So he talked the talk and walked the walk, dude. It worked. It worked. Sean says, I think 9-step drop would help Hurts tremendously. You don't really see it often in today's NFL, but for shorter QBs, I think it helps. Yeah, probably. Kyle says, Joey, you think it's a coincidence that our defense started getting good when we started taking snaps away from Jordan Davis? No, I think that, you know what? I think they only took Jordan Davis out of the game is because we were already up in point. I think because we were already up. The Giants had to pass the foot. The Giants had the passing game had to work for the Giants. They had to force the pass. So they decided to take Jordan Davis out to get a better pass rush. I don't think Jordan Davis has done much, but I mean, I think this pass rush has just been, it's been growing every week. The defense has been growing every week. Pass rush is getting a lot better. They're coming off their best game against the Giants with 8 sacks. I guess the New York Giants, but it's their best game yet. I mean, look, if you're looking for someone to get sacks, I mean, who would have thought Bryce Huff would have had a sack? Josh Sweat would have have a sack. Nakobe Dean, every time they blitzed him, he had a sack. Seems like Fangio knows how to use Nakobe Dean now. Seems to be flourishing in this defense. Can't cover, but doing really well. Jalen Carter. I mean, look, they all had a great game. But now Cooper DeJean is getting more comfortable with the defense, his second game in with this defense. And I got to say, Cooper DeJean, not only for run support, but in coverage as well, Cooper DeJean has been playing pretty damn good. Cooper DeJean is I'm sorry, but the future of Cooper DeJean, he's got to be that Malcolm Jenkins Swiss Army knife, move all around the field type player. I feel like sitting him for this year, it's fine, but for the future for him, I think he just is more valuable. I think of him as a safety regardless, but I got to say, they have got to do more with him. He's got way too much talent, way too much. And he wants to fucking hit somebody. That guy and Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell, fucking damn, dude. It's crazy. Mr. Nationals, they got to have better first downs and second down. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Mike says, kind of hard to run slants if Hurts doesn't like throwing in the middle. Well, he's going to have to. But if they're not just going to not run it because Hurts can't do it. They just don't run it. Let me tell you something. If they run it a lot more, trust me, he'll be forced to do it. And he's going to have to do it. So I don't think they run too many slants. I don't think they run too many opportunities middle of the field. That's just me. Michael, what's going on? So JC, what's up with Diana Rossi article about us getting Max Crosby for a 25 first, 4th, and 5th, and a 26 second? Okay, so since you brought it up, Michael, we're going to bring it up. So yeah, Diana Rossini had a mock trade for Max Crosby. Okay, Eagles get Max Crosby. The Eagles would have to give up a 25 first rounder, 4th rounder, and a 5th rounder, and a 26 second rounder. So it's really hard for me to say that the Eagles would. I honestly don't know what to do here. I think Jalyx Hunt needs more in the rotation right now. I really don't want to get a Von Miller. Maybe as a Darius Smith if he's a little bit cheaper because he is older. But Max Crosby in general right now, to me, I don't know what you're giving up for Myles Garrett. I honestly don't. I don't know what you're giving up for. I don't know what the Raiders want for Max Crosby, okay? Because not only is he a leader, he's a big voice. He's a natural-born leader. He is. But he's a closer, and he's a tone setter on the edge. And I'm not renting a guy for a year. I'm not renting one guy for a year. If you're giving up a first round pick, you got to have him for multiple years. I don't know what his contract looks like. I keep forgetting every day to check the contract situation for Max Crosby, but I don't know what it looks like. If anybody wants to put the stats to his contract, his cap numbers, or whatever's left, I don't even know what his contract is. I would like Myles Garrett at 28 years old, perfect age, could be here for a couple years to a few years, maybe. It's hard for me to give up. I mean, it's really hard for me to feel like, You really, if you're making this trade, you need to know you're going to be in the playoffs and you're going to get to an NFC Championship game. Because if you feel like you're just not heading in that direction right now, I know you want to believe that you're heading in that direction. And I know week eight is the trade deadline. I understand it. I understand it's really tough. It's really tough. You know, you're not trading for a very, very young player here. So you got to be really careful making a trade like that. I feel more comfortable with Myles Garrett, a lot more comfortable with him, because we had open practice with them last year. A lot of the players know Myles Garrett. Andrew Berry used to be the GM. The GM and Andrew Berry used to be the right-hand man, for Howie Roseman with the Eagles before he went over there as the GM. Might not, friends. I think they should extend Zack Baun. Well, hopefully, Joey. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be another one. You know, Devin White signed with the Houston Texans. And now, you have Nakobe Dean for another year, on multiple years. Trotter Jr. needs a shot sometime. Zack Baun looks like he will play on Sunday. I know he had that shoulder injury, but he didn't practice a couple days ago. He practiced the other day, so that's really good. Zack Baun, I think, is the perfect protege type linebacker. And honestly, if you get a defensive end, you don't have to put Zack Baun in 5-man fronts on the line, because then it leaves Nakobe Dean back there all by himself. We'll see. What's going on, Greg? Hope you're having a good day, man. Don Martin said, what up, Joey? My Eagles brother. What's going on, Donald? Rob said, which Jaden would take more snaps under center if you don't like it? Play action works better from the... Yeah, you know what's weird about it? Last season in 23, how many times did they run play action without a fucking run game? Like, how are you supposed to make defenses bite on play action without run? Like, when they barely ran the football last year, like, why would you run play action? I would see them run play action all the time. Defenses are going to get tricked by it. Now they're running the football and no play action. I don't get it. Just some shit just really confuses me. That says Crosby is exactly the type of player who would succeed in Philly and be loved. Garrett is the best, but Crosby isn't much below him, honestly, and he's only 27. They're young. I mean, if you want them just getting into their prime, fantastic. Then he says 22 to 26 rookie extension. Max Crosby signed a 4-year, $94 million contract with Las Vegas Raiders, including 13 signing bonus, $53 million guaranteed, and an average salary of $23.5. 22 to 26. So he's on contract for another 2 years after this year. $23 million. That's a lot. That's a lot of money. 23. But what's the cap number? What's the cap number for all those? What's the cap number this year? And obviously the cap number, if he gets traded, it'll be less for the Eagles because well, actually, that's not true. So what's the cap number for the rest of this year, 25 and 26 for Max Crosby? What's the cap? What does he cost against the cap? Mike said 2 first-rounders and 2 second-rounders plus a player is the rumor. Yeah, no thanks. No thanks. Jalyx Hunt can have more snaps. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. Shows us, speaking of Baun, I believe he's out for Sunday and Trotter Jr. gets to start. I heard he practiced. He didn't practice on 2 days ago. He didn't practice. And then he practiced the other day. I thought he was fine. He practiced. He was off the injury while he was practicing. That's Ojomo and Carter are balling. Williams is playing well. Davis just looks awful this year. I don't even think Milton Williams is playing that good this year. I think Ojomo has been, there's really no numbers, but he's been more Ojomo as a 7th-round pick has been very disruptive. I don't think the Eagles are paying Milton Williams at all. Okay? I don't think you're paying Milton Williams because Jalen Carter is going to have an expired contract soon. Not now, but soon. Jordan Davis is going to go into his last year of his deal. I don't think you're going to pay Milton Williams. You might have to double down on defensive line next year. Defensive line, edge rusher, DT, tight end. I mean, shit, you know? Robert's exactly, Joey. I was hoping with Barkley we could do that. So I'm hyped too, man. I'm excited to see where this team. I'm excited to see how they answer another week. You know. Then when the Trotter will get playing time and take Cooper off the punt returns, and Hunt will get more playing time involved, according to Vic. Unleash the beast. I don't know why Jalyx Hunt has been playing that much, man. Jalyx Hunt needs to fucking play more. Needs to play more. If Trout Jr. gets to play, fantastic. I'm not against that at all. I know Vic Fangio was complaining about Cooper DeJean on punt returns. He can't fucking stand it. He takes an unnecessary hit. I don't care if you call a fair catch or not. He takes an unnecessary hit, gets a concussion. All it's going to take is one hit. And you're back to Avonte Maddox at that fucking nickel spot. They have got to put more, I think in the mid rounds, they really need to put more into at least like the third to fifth rounds next year. They really need to put more into that nickel corner spot because they do not have any nickel corners. Behind DeJean, I feel like there's nobody. You have Avonte Maddox. That's it. Edge, DT, tight end, and nickel corner, I think are going to be big ones for next year's draft. No doubt. No doubt. Yeah, I think Thomas Booker's had a pretty good year. Pretty solid year. I mean, for a guy that made the team, didn't expect them to keep, 7 DTs? Which I didn't expect them to even keep that much. But I guess they liked them way too much. Roberts, the trade Hurts for a used jockstrap as long as they take his salary. Hurts is trending towards a Carson Wentz situation? I don't think so. Why? What's going on, Ethan? Mike said, Ojomo has outplayed Milton so far this year. I think in some statistics he has when it comes to pressures. I think he has this year. It's kind of weird. I mean, really more Ojomo coming out of college. He was flashy as a pass rusher, but it wasn't his strong suit. He was definitely better against the run. I forgot what school he went to, but I remember the draft report on him. Dennis said, I love Goedert. But, man, he's hurt all the damn time. I feel like having an elite tight end is what has gotten Mahomes and Brady so many rings. Ertz was a big reason the Eagles got one. I agree with that, even when Brett Selleck was here as well. And having both of them at one point for 17, which was still really good. Tight end is definitely a big must. Now, Goedert is 28? He's got two more years left on his contract. I think he's 28 or 29, I forgot. He's got 2 more years on his contract. Calcaterra can't block. What's going to stop Calcaterra from even considering to be a number one? Not in Philadelphia. He just can't block at all. So Albert O, they've traded for Albert O last season. They didn't do much with him last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago. I forgot what they traded for, but I think it was last offseason they traded for him. Didn't do shit last year. Then they re-signed him again. Then he got hurt again. Tight end was really hurt. Very, very hurt. But Goedert, man, he's always missing like 4 to 6 games a season. It's fucking hurting us, So you're hoping to get Mulata back soon. Dallas Goedert soon. I mean, I'm not saying I'm done with Dallas Goedert, but I'm pretty much like already going to draft his replacement. You keep Dallas Goedert for another year. You draft a fucking tight end pretty high between the first and third round, and just see what happens. I think that's what you should do. Make money enough. Fred says, put somebody else back there besides Cooper. Don't need him, but hope they listen to Vic. Yeah, but you know what? I don't know who else to put back there. I would put Shipley back there. You have Shipley on kick returns. Here's another thing I don't get. Why is Kenneth Gainwell on fucking kick returns? Or maybe he's not anymore. I think they used to have him on kick returns. Isaiah Rodgers, I think, is back there now. But I didn't really get that either. Nate says, post June 1st for Crosby, 5.5 paid by Las Vegas, 25 mil for cap, total of 30 million per over the cap. Interesting. That's really not. It's not a. It's as a cap number. You're telling me it's $5 million for this year. VP, what's going on, dude? Hey, Joey. Looks like something big is brewing, and our crew has been tapped to go. Could really use some prayers from the Bird family. I think the team will continue to gel and grow. Go Birds. VP, thank you for definitely commenting in the live chat. By the way, VP is in the military. Please send him prayers. Keep him safe. Keep all our troops safe. Everybody needs some prayers and heart emojis for VP Ord. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're going to be all right and everything goes really well. So thanks for coming in today. I really do appreciate it, man. So much. So much, man. Keep safe out there, buddy. Morph said, play Ojomo over Davis and watch Davis try to work his way to first string. Yeah, I mean, look, Jordan Davis hasn't. Look, you're not thinking Jordan. Look, Jordan Davis. We have to look at it the situation like this. As much as I think we're putting too much on him to be more of a pass rusher, and he's not doing that. He did make a few good plays the last couple weeks. Holding his blocks and making some tackles against the run. So I know he's not exploding off the stat sheet right now. But the good thing about Vic Fangio is he's going to play guys that deserve more snaps. Jalyx Hunt goes into the game and strip sacks Drew Lock like easily. But even in that Tampa game, they put Jalyx Hunt there for 5 plays. That one play, he blew up the tight end and blew up the entire play. Someone else made the play on it, but he was really disruptive. Jalyx Hunt, man, is somebody was the big mystery of training camp. Even Vic Fangio was like, "Oh, he's really surprised me. Didn't expect him to be, what he's doing right now. I didn't really expect that." How did you not expect it, man? I mean, this was your hand-picked pick. A guy that was a safety transition to a defensive end, small school at Houston Christian, 6'3", 6'4", 252 pounds, and he moves like that at his size. I mean, as a coverage, as an edge that goes in coverage, he could be our best guy in coverage off the edge for this scheme. Hate the scheme with a passion, but let me tell you, I think Zack Baun has been a protege. I think Jalyx Hunt could be that top protege for this squad in coverage. You saw the way they put Josh Sweat on fucking Malik Neighbors. They had Brandon Graham on Malik Neighbors in coverage. I don't get why they put these edge guys in coverage. Like, they stand there, they tap the receiver. They literally just tap them. And like they go back to, kind of containing the edge. I don't know. It's just, I feel like they're not doing anything on that play. Though. They says, but yeah, he's getting over $30 million this year. Sheesh, $25 million sound like a bargain for Reddick. Oof. I think Reddick's getting paid $21. Which actually isn't that bad, to be honest with you. It's really not that bad. Teal Hopkins with the super chat. Sorry I missed this. Teal Hopkins says Zack Baun needs an extension ASAP. Well, I think they'll get to it sooner or later. Sooner or later, I think they'll get to it. I'm not really worried about that right now. I mean, it is worrisome because you hit the reset button. So what's going to happen is if Zack Baun starts all year, plays well, walks into free agency, you're hitting, and Trotter Jr. never gets a snap this season or doesn't play enough, you're hitting the reset button all over again. Nakobe Dean is like a flash, not a flash, but Nakobe Dean as a downhill aggressive type linebacker downhill, I think he's great. His coverage is really just in question. I just haven't liked it, Shonuff says, I don't think it even matters if Goedert is hurt. He gets the same amount of targets hurts as he does healthy. Oh, I mean, I would like him to be more involved. I mean, that Saints game, you don't win that Saints game without pretty much him on that big play right there. And that was a Kellen Moore-esque play on that mesh concept. Jahan Dotson went the opposite direction to make those two defensive backs run into each other, which was great. That was a big play that he had in that game. But no, I believe they should be targeting him a lot more, no doubt. But it's not even about giving Dallas Goedert the targets. It's just him being lined up is just something to worry about for the defense. Regardless if he's getting the ball or not, they still have to worry about him. You know what I mean? But I think the chemistry between Hurts and Calcaterra have been pretty damn good as of recent. I don't think it's been too bad. Dennis Murray says you definitely give a first up for Max Crosby. Yeah. I get it, dude. But are the Eagles in position to do that? Like, do you feel comfortable giving a first round pick to get an edge rusher right now to say that this team should go to this team? If you're getting to an NFC, if you feel positive about this team getting to an NFC championship game, do you give up that first round pick? Because if you give up that first round pick and that offense starts playing really bad, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts about it. You give away that first round pick for Max Crosby or Myles Garrett or whoever, and your offense just totally just shits the bed this season. You're hoping that's not the case, but you always have to worry about that when you trade for a player mid-season or, somewhat early in the season like that. What's up, Rylan says, what up, Shakes? How's it going? You think we come out at the victor on Sunday? I think they do. Somebody in the chat said the Cincinnati Bengals are dealing with a couple of injuries on the offensive line. I need to look that up. T. Higgins just had a quad injury at practice today, and he is listed as questionable for this game on Sunday. I'm trying to look for the Bengals injury report. Sorry. I'm trying to see like if there's anybody else that's hurt right now, but T. Higgins is obviously on the top of that list. Okay, here we go. And this isn't the first time T. Higgins has had soft tissue injuries. He's had it before as well, so this isn't something new to the Cincinnati Bengals. He's had multiple fucking injuries there. So it says 2 starters, left tackle Orlando Brown Jr. knee and safety Geno Stone shin. Oh, will play in the Week 8 contest. Hold on. At Paycor Stadium. And Zach Taylor said after Friday's practice, Brown and Stone were limited early in the week, but made enough progress to be available at full strength for Cincinnati as the Bengals look to win their 3rd straight game. Neither had availability designation. Okay. So it looks like they're getting Orlando Brown back. Is he fully healthy? I don't know. They were limited early. So Orlando Brown is back at left tackle. And Geno Stone, their safety. I thought he was going to be out. That's so weird. Geno Stone was in a fucking air cast after last week's game. He was in a fucking air cast. Now he's playing. I was kind of shocked over that. You got to have some toughness to you where you want to push through some things. I'm sure he's dealt with it in his past. Yeah, I don't think Orlando Brown's going to be 100% going to this game at left tackle either. I don't think so. He's going to be 100% healthy. So, if they're good enough to play, then we'll see what happens. Show says, I'm not frustrated with Davis. Hold on, making sure it's coming. I'm not frustrated with Davis. Half of the time, fans will use Davis just to tie up blockers, preventing them from getting to the second level. Can't really impact the game that way, especially being a first-round pick. No. I mean, if that's all how they're going to use him, he's definitely not getting paid. If he only has 6 tackles for the season and they're just using him to clog up the holes, that's pretty much it. If it really helps dialing up these blitzes, then sure. Then, why not? I guess it works. Jackson Vaught, what's going on, man? I think the Bengals game, and maybe Jacksonville really, depending on if we trade for a player, if they look great these 2 weeks, I'd go for a Crosby or Garrett. If not, go for someone smaller. So, yeah, I think it really depends on these next couple games, no doubt. Remember, this game on Sunday was a 4:00 game. Now it's a 1:00 game. The Jaguars game was a Sunday night game. Now is a 4:00 game for the Philadelphia Eagles. So we'll be streaming both of those games as well. We have 191 people in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the stream. It helps the channel out tremendously. Check the pinned comment for memberships to support the channel. In the description below, definitely support. Join the Discord server. We do video chats every week to the subscribers and supporters. Check out my TikTok as well, because we put a lot of reactions on there that I can't put on YouTube. So that's something else you can actually follow me on. Everything, links are in the description for everything. Thank you so much for joining today. Chris says Goedert is a real tight end. The problem is he's always hurt. Yeah, no, I get it. It's bad. it's as bad as it can get with it, you know. We got a super chat from TL Hopkins. Been watching you for years. Been watching you for years. Love your consistency, bro. You don't do it for the money. You're always yourself. You are appreciated. Keep it up. Go Birds. Look, I mean, has this become like a full-time job? Yes. But starting this channel was not easy. For the first 6 years was not easy on doing content at all. But you guys are the MVPs. You guys make the channel what it is. I can be as consistent as possible, but I don't think I'm the sharpest tool in the shed. I don't think I'm the smartest guy at all. I don't really care what anybody thinks, but if you guys like me for who I am, it's all that matters. You know what I mean? Whether we agree, disagree, and I love all you. Pause, but you know what I mean? Thank you so much for the kind words, TL. I appreciate it so much. Whether you've been here a week, a day, 4 years, back in 2016 when we first started, I appreciate it so much, man. Gerald Merritt with the super chat. Thank you so much. Says Jalyx Hunt could probably play linebacker inside and outside. Think Urlacher in college from safety transition to middle linebacker in the NFL. He was also 6'4", 255. That's interesting. What I saw from Jalyx Hunt in the offseason program, especially the preseason games, man, coming out of coverage, I saw him cover a running back go down the right sideline out of coverage as an edge rusher. He can cover tight ends. His speed across the field, it's fucking scary. I'm telling you. Watch some of those plays. There was 2 plays that stuck out in that Tampa Bay game. The way he blew up that tight end off the line. And there was a play that went away from him, and he was just going through traffic across the field so fast and got involved in a group tackle. I mean, he's quick, man. He's really quick. It's crazy. His football IQ is great. He'll be covering a tight end, but if he knows to get off the tight end, to go, maybe to check down play or something like that, he's really good at getting off blocks and making really. He's very smart player. That was, if you guys don't remember during the draft, that was the guy that when Howie made the phone call to Jalyx Hunt, he was like, "What's going on, Big Pippin?" That was him. So. Dude, if you don't go after a trade, man, I mean, Fangio did say this week that they're going to have Jalyx Hunt in the rotation. They're going to work him in. I think he deserves it, man. I mean, I don't get why they haven't done it all fucking year so far. Why is Jalyx Hunt only playing special teams? Why is he only playing when, the Giants pretty much waved the white flag. They put in Drew Lock and the rest of their backups. Jalyx Hunt goes right in and strip sacks Drew Lock. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better than that. What's going on, Mouse? Appreciate that super chat, by the way, Gerald. Dane says, I was kind of shocked. Slay went to the blue tent and came back out skipping. It's crazy. Statistically, Slay has played really good this year. As much as I don't agree with some of his things that he does off field and everything like that, he has played pretty damn good. Quinyon Mitchell is one of my favorite players. He is one of my favorite. God, can we get a fucking turnover? Can we get a pick? I mean, 5 picks were dropped this year. Chris says, Shakes, keep it real. He doesn't sugarcoat things. Shakes brings us great content. Crazy he doesn't have over 50. Well, because I don't care about that. I don't care about subscribe. Look, if people subscribe, great. If they don't, they don't. I don't care about that. It does not matter to me. Okay? I'm here just to talk football, and that's it. That's as far as it goes. So we got some young dogs on this team. Howie has been drafting decently lately. Yeah, and he's had some misses too. I mean, we're starting to find out some more things, but yeah, we've hit. I mean, you've hit the first 2 picks of the draft, but it would be nice if they could hit on a 3rd round pick, a 4th round. There's way too many teams around the league right now. Way too many teams around the league right now that their 3rds, their 4ths, their 5th round picks are starting for a defense, or maybe they're getting involved in the offense somehow. But I think they just, it's going to be tough, man. That's drafting DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. We say that it's going to be impossible to sign both those guys at the same time when they become free agents. Okay, when they're coming off their rookie contracts. But let me tell you, man, those were a couple really good picks. Cooper DeJean was a fucking 1st-round talent. We all know this. The only reason why he fell into our lap, Jalen Carter fell into our lap. DeJean fell into our lap because really up to the 14th pick, literally it was all offensive players. There wasn't one defensive player taken off the board until fucking 15, 16. That's the only reason why we got him. I mean, realistically. Eric Allen, what's going on? Said hello from Germany. I enjoy the content and game day comment. I appreciate it so much, Eric. All the way from Germany. How about that? Germany. Son Jones and Joey, happy about the ones who shows love and been here. Hey, I appreciate it, man. It means a lot. It means a lot. Trust me. Trust me, every day I get shit for the crap that I say, whether it's true, whether it's false. And trust me, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. When I'm right, I'm right. But at the end of the day, we're all in this together, you know? Christian Shakes, what's your game plan if you were more Fangio? As Fangio, get pressure. I know their left tackle is not 100% healthy right now, but they got to blitz they got to blitz Nakobe Dean. They got to contain the edge. Really, if there's no T. Higgins on Sunday, which it sounds like there's not, they really have to I would really put Quinyon Mitchell on Jamar Chase the entire game, okay? And take away his best receiver, because other than that, they don't have a strong run game. They better stop that, get more pressure, make that offense more one-dimensional by shutting down Jamar Chase in that run game, and I think you're going to have a really good game. And I want a fucking defensive turnover this game. Offensively, when you look at the rankings for the Bengals defense, they're not really that great against the run, not really good against the pass. They give up a good amount of yardage, and they're 20th in points, so they're giving up some good points defensively. Get a fast start, run the ball with Saquon Barkley. Not only north and south, but run him on the side, run him a little bit. You got A.J. Brown for another game. Okay, A.J. Brown is back for a 2nd time, which is fantastic. So we're really happy that A.J. Brown is fully back now. And use middle of the field. Get the run game going with Saquon Barkley. I'm not really worried about besides Hendrickson, I'm not really worried about the Cincinnati defense as much. Don't hold on to the ball too long. Get your check downs going. Make things easy for Hurts. Make it simple. Score in the first fucking quarter. I think you have it in the bag, honestly. But nothing's easy, like I say. I'm not saying you have it in the bag like it's going to be an easy game, but they can make it look pretty fucking convincing to me if they can get things going. So that's where I'm at. Morris, I love how in the draft we traded in front of Green Bay and took DeJean. I totally remember that. And thanks for refreshing my memory, because I do remember Green Bay was sitting right there and they probably could have grabbed him. PA Sports 2 said there are some good edge rushers in this draft. Yeah, I haven't. Who's the guy from Penn State? Is there a really good edge rusher for Penn State this year? Like I said, I'm not looking at any draft stuff until like January, right after Christmas. Right after Christmas, that's when I really start looking at the draft. I start studying a lot more guys. I don't really have time to watch college football on Saturdays. I have 2 jobs, unfortunately, and it's just it's just crappy. So I really don't have time on Saturdays to really even watch football. I wish I did. I'm able to catch some games here and there, but not as much. A dude here says we got somehow offload Bradberry. He's going to be just taking up a raw spot. Yeah, so this is going to be interesting now. I don't know, because there's no value for Bradberry right now. But if you put Bradberry on the active roster, there is no way, unless they put Tristan McCullum back to practice squad and they put Bradberry as the second safety with Sidney Brown. I mean, I don't even think he's that good, to be honest with you. Bradberry, they put him at safety. We laughed at that. And Bradberry did the right thing. He said, in that press conference in the offseason program, he said, you know what, there's a lot of guys. They drafted 2 DBs. I know I wasn't going to have a chance to really compete with that. So he changed his position. But guys, he looked horrible. Can't cover a tight end. He just looked bad. It seems like the Bradberry contract is really fucking bad. It's really bad. This is when we were supposed to sign Chauncey last offseason. If they signed Chauncey last year before he went to Detroit, they wouldn't have signed Bradberry. Bradberry was offered $15, $16 million a year, and the Eagles got him for about 13, 14. You know what I mean? You know? Bars Abdul Carter is fantastic. Abdul Carter, yeah, that's the guy. Another Carter to the defensive line. Why not? They said, how the hell are people saying if the Eagles beat Cincy, it's an upset? I don't think it's an upset. I think they've won. Like, look, the Eagles have won 2 straight games. Cincinnati's won 2 straight games. They haven't beaten the Eagles and Cincy haven't really beaten top. They haven't beat top teams. Okay. So an upset? Not really. I don't think so. Fat Villicano, what's going on, man? Appreciate Super Chat so much. Why don't Eagles want Rex Ryan as what? As a DC? I don't know. I have no idea. Michael Meehan says, Joey, I think you, Philly 500 are the 2 best channels out here for Philly content. I can't stand some of these other guys out here that spell their own shit and think they are hot but cold. Ooh, boy. I mean, I guess there's people. Yeah, I mean, look, I think there's people out there that I guess think that way. I don't know. But well, let them do that. It is what it is. It's unfortunate people have to act like that, but it's unfortunate. What's going on, Rock? King JJ says, I mean, the way the defense is coming along and the young guys are developing and adjusting, I trust the move to safety and Vic's decision. I just worry about that he doesn't want that contract. It's like they're forcing to keep him. You know, we talking about Bradberry. I mean, if you put Bradberry on the active roster, you're going to have to let somebody go. Who are you going to let go? The only move I can see them making is putting Tristan McCollum back to practice squad. That's really the only move I see right now. If they move, I don't know. Don't take away from a position we fucking need depth at. Bradberry is not worth it. Bradberry has not proved himself. It's just the truth. Bengals are favored by like 2.5. I guess that's why it's an upset. But it's not even that much though. You know? If they were favored a lot higher, I would say it's an upset. But 2.5 is nothing to shake a stick at either. You know? Fabio Vilcon with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. Says head coach Rex Ryan is dad. Oh no, I know that. I mean, I don't know. I guess they just have no interest in Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan, does he even want to coach? Does he want to come back and coach anymore? I have no idea. Look, from what it looks like right now, I don't see a Nick Sirianni firing as of yet. Because, you know, all Nick has to do to save his job is one fucking thing that is the easiest thing he could do. You know what that is? Do nothing. Don't do anything. You know? PH says, if Howie doesn't try to be acute, we could build a really good defense. Yeah, look, I think there was 2 things the Eagles did that they don't really follow in their philosophy of drafting and acquire free agents. The 2 things that they did this offseason that they never do, okay, is pay running backs $12 million a year, which they did. So they went over the hump with that. And secondly, they put a lot of stock into their fucking secondary, which they never do. Never. But what's lacking that the Eagles usually have as a strength every single year? Their defensive line. We haven't had a defensive line like this, like really building their way back up again. You know, losing Fletcher Cox obviously was big. Brandon Graham is not the same player he used to be, but he's still very good in the rotation, doing whatever he possibly can. Josh Sweat is going to be gone. You know, Milton Williams is going to be gone. If the Eagles want Brandon Graham back, Graham will come back. He'll come back for a year with the Eagles, or he'll retire if they don't want him because he won't play for another team. We all know this. That's really been the key that's been lackluster this year. You sign fucking Bryce Huff, and we're like, okay, looks really good last year, but we said, heavy rotation. Vic starts putting Bryce Huff out of position. Puts Quinyon Mitchell out of position to start training camp. If Isaiah Rodgers didn't get hurt before that first game with the hand injury, I am telling you right now that fucking Quinyon Mitchell would be a nickel corner the rest of this year. Horrible. Thank God. Thank God for that. Creek says, with Bradberry back, they'll probably run more 3 safety sets and taking Dean out and run CJ down in the box, leave Reed and Bradberry. No, No. Sidney Brown is playing before. No. You think Bradberry's going to get a shot over Sidney Brown? Hell no. If I even see Bradberry hit the field, number one, hasn't even earned it. Didn't earn it this offseason because he got fucking beat. Every time we saw him, he was getting beat. Okay? I'm telling you right now, Sidney Brown is the future at safety. Or I don't know where they're going to put Sidney Brown. It's just so nice to have an unlimited supply of defensive backs in this secondary. It's great. It's fantastic. You know, it's something you really can't fuck this up. Sidney Brown came back his first game. They took all the starters out. When the Giants waved the white flag, they put the backups in, and Sidney Brown made a play, jumped in front of the receivers. It was great. I see Sidney Brown as a safety, Cooper DeJean as a safety. I mean, Cooper DeJean has got to be like that move around Malcolm Jenkins piece for this defense after this year. Like, they have got to do more with him. Add more to the secondary next year. Rebuild your defensive line. Build off of it. Are the Eagles missing a beat without Brandon Graham? I wouldn't say missing a beat, but obviously his leadership, his voice, it makes a difference. Josh Sweat, very disappointed in him. You know, but we have to think of it this way too. This defense might look like fucking top of the line by the end of the year. You took a lot of players out of position. You took Quinyon out of position in the training camp in the offseason program. You took Quinyon out of position. Bryce Huff is getting paid, and he's not in a heavy rotation on third down for the Jets anymore. And look what Bryce Huff has done the last couple weeks since getting a better get-off stance, more explosive, 4-point stance. You know? Bradberry can hold down the shade tent. Evie says, TR, what up, Joey? Who's the next Philly team to win a game? Flyer? I'm not into hockey, bro. Like, if the Flyers are playing well, great, but I'm not really into hockey that much. I've tried, but I'm just not into it. Sean Murray said, we haven't had him for a minute, but Javon Hargrave was a beast. Said he went to San. Yeah, well, the Eagles weren't paying him a lot of money, unfortunately. Yeah, Hargrave was great. It was fantastic. King said, hell, Milton gets pressure, but he can't seem to disengage. Yeah, there is an issue with that. I could see that. Getting pressure is one thing, but getting off a block is another. But, I mean, getting pressure is really all you need to do, but someone's got to make a play, though. King Smoke says, hey, Joey, let's go this Sunday. I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to go. Nate says, Joey, don't give wrenches. I don't say I don't give wrenches. I think the problem, what I used to do is like, if people actually became a member, I used to give wrenches, and I stopped doing that because people would start blocking people and then blame me that I blocked them when I didn't block them. It's very, very tough that I give wrenches out because I really need to trust people with wrenches, unfortunately. And I've had to reset my wrenches probably 3 times already. So Spike says they're healthy, but they suck. He's been burned before. Nathan says 3.5. I thought that changed. It probably did. I think it was like 2.5 as soon as the Giants game was over. I think they were underdog, 2.5 underdogs against Cincinnati for this week. I think that was the number. I don't know where it's at right now. Somebody could check for me where that is. More to Sidney Brown, like DeJean, will slowly work his way into the rotation, become a starter. I feel like he has strong IQ and athleticism that Fangio tends to like. Yeah. And I think he's very rangy. I think he can cover a lot of field with his legs. I think Sidney Brown was a Red Star player for the Eagles. I know there's a lot of players that are Red Stars, but he was like the top Red Star in his draft class, for the Eagles. And, work ethic's really good, and plays really hard. I think he's one of the hardest working players defensively. No doubt. Yo, Dag, what up, dude? Hope you're having a good day, man. Hope you're enjoying yourself tonight. Hope everything's going well with you. Kadisto said we need to continue the blitz. It's working. Oh, yeah. I mean, Nakobe Dean, every time they blitzed him, man, he was very disruptive. I mean, Nakobe Dean looks like Georgia Nakobe Dean when he gets in that backfield like that. But if Nakobe Dean has to take one step backwards, I'm already nervous in coverage. He did miss, his tackling is still in question. He missed a couple tackles that I'm still getting a little annoyed with. I don't like it. King says he's running a wrench dictatorship, right? What? People just block people for no reason. Don't even tell me. Like if I give you a wrench, I literally, like Lord Dagger, right, has a wrench, but I've known Dagger. I've talked to him personally. I've known him for years, so you could literally block somebody without telling me, and I won't even know. And then they'll think that I blocked them. So, Bartafly, as of 6 hours ago, the Bengals are favored by 3. Okay. It's nothing. It's nothing. I mean, I wonder if that's going to change now with T. Higgins not playing Sunday. He's not officially out Sunday. Of course, they're going to say he's questionable now. He has a grade 1 quad injury. He should be out, 2 weeks? James Dingleberry? Exactly. That's what he is. Can't trade him, can't do nothing. He's just the unpopular kid at the back of the fucking party. I mean, that's pretty much what he is. TL says Sidney would start on another team. Oh, 100%. Fucking A. He would. Chilling, man. Just chilling. James says Guantanamo Bay needs his first pick. Oh, shit. Oopselberry. Suo, what's going on, dude? Hope you're having a good day, man. Thank you for the super chat so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Jesus, home team gets 3 points. King says, not talking about you, Joey, but you're telling me Devin White couldn't cover even the slightest bit better to win the job over Dean because he could blitz. We know that. I don't get the whole situation with Devin White, bro. I honestly don't. I think what a fucking waste that was. That was the biggest waste of a signing I've ever seen. I'm telling you right now, Devin White could have helped this team tremendously this year. I don't get he was a healthy scratch for the amount of weeks. Then we played Tampa Bay. Then he puts out a post of a Levante David tackling, strip sacking Jalen Hurts. He deletes it offline. The weird behavior. From what it looked like when he first got back, before the first game happened, when he got interviewed, I think he was shocked that he wasn't starting. I think he was completely shocked. I think part of the fact they didn't start Devin White, obviously Zack Baun was playing so well, but not even just that, but Dean was fully healthy finally. Like, we're going to start Devin White over Nakobe Dean now with Dean finally being healthy. I think they honestly forced Dean on the field and really want to see and get a first glimpse of what Dean could look like weeks down the road. I think they really were I think they forced themselves to make sure Nakobe Dean was going to produce for this defense. And he has, okay? Obviously, he's missed some tackles. The tackling hasn't been great with him. The coverage hasn't been great with him. But I think Devin White was shocked that he didn't start that first game. He was like, oh, that's the name of the business. He was like, he was in the Eagles locker room with the interview. He was like, that's the name of the business. It is what it is, But he was being a very good team player. He wasn't pouting. He wasn't, you know what I mean? Like when Zack Baun made that play against the Saints, he was with him on the field and not even dressed for the game, obviously, but Devin White going to another team. He's fresh. He hasn't played a snap for a team, so he's the most healthy out of a lot of players on rosters right now because he hasn't played. So he's got a lot more value, and he's got more in the tank this season because his body hasn't really taken hits at all. So, it makes sense in that regard. Yeah, sure. That's where I'm at. T. Higgins is injury prone. Yeah, a lot of soft tissue injuries. Yeah. Morris Joey, how do you feel about leaving Q1 and 1 with Chase? I wouldn't fucking mind it. Follow him all over the field. I think that's the best thing that they could do. I would love that. Remember when they used Slay against Justin Jefferson in that Vikings game a couple years back? Man, that was great. I loved how they just gave Slay one job. Wherever Jefferson goes, you go. I mean, Jefferson only had, 40-something yards that game? It wasn't even much. Closed him down. Shut him down. I love that they did that. Do I think they're going to do that this game? I'm not really sure. But I would... Quinyon Mitchell is just... Man, that guy is just on a fucking different level at corner we haven't seen on this team in fucking years. Literally. It's been a long time, man. A homegrown talent in Philadelphia gets drafted to the, you know what I mean? Not homegrown in Philadelphia, but you know what I mean. A guy that's drafted to the Philadelphia Eagles with that mindset, that attitude, and honestly, his Senior Bowl tape was fantastic. He was one of the most physical corners I've ever seen. His fast break tackles are great. He gets off blocks easily. He sees things before they happen. Back in the Senior Bowl, even in his play in Toledo, he always got his hands on the football all the fucking time. But man, 5 fucking picks, dude. It's crazy. Just dropped. Gotta get one. King said, if the owner wanted him, but everyone else said, and I eventually cut him. PA Sports said, the media makes it seem like our offense is horrible as a stacked offense. They're saying we only have a running game. Well, yeah, because realistically, guys, if they got everybody else involved, sure, it would look way better. But they're not wrong. Without Saquon Barkley, how many losses do we have? 2, 3 losses? Probably. Without Saquon Barkley, where is this team right now? Yeah, I need these receivers to get involved. I need that middle of the field to be more involved and get these receivers on some crossers, some hot routes, some doing some things. They're giving Jalen Hurts more freedom at the line. A few of those plays he actually audibled out of were to Saquon Barkley, But, Deal said, you could trust me, Joe. I'll honor that wrench for my life. I'll only block or delete when you ask. Oh, man. Firefly said, I think we should definitely put Q on Chase. He can also keep up with his speed. I agree. King said, was Vic hired before or after free agency? Because ain't no half of these guys Vic picked. The only person I heard was Vic, was Jalyx and Baun. It was he got hired before. Yeah, he got hired before. So, Zack Baun was a fucking role player. That's all he was with the Saints. He was an edge rusher transformed into an outside linebacker. Had a couple picks last season. I mean, that was just a lucky fucking signing. Just a lucky one. Let's see what he does the rest of this year. I mean, there was a week where he was leading the league in tackles as a fucking linebacker. I don't know who's leading it now, but probably not him anymore. When he had 24, I think it was 24 to 26 tackles, he was leading the league. I think it was after week 3, something like that. John said, the Eagles are constantly leaving me scratching my head with the decisions they make. The Devin White mystery and trading for Jahan Dotson just to never use him in the game plan. I don't get it. And why is every fucking free agent receiver or ones that are going to get traded, why are trade candidates, Cooper Kupp, even when Amari Cooper was available, when they talked about that, DeAndre Hopkins before he went to KC, like every receiver is becoming a prime target. Like, I don't get what is with that. I don't get that. I think Cooper Kupp's going to get traded. I have a feeling his last press conference, he didn't seem too comfortable that he was going to be staying in LA. You traded for Jahan Dotson, a 3rd-round pick and then some. A 3rd and a 7th, whatever it was. I mean, even when Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown get hurt, like, you don't even design play. You favor Paris Campbell over him. I don't get that. Paris Campbell's not even here anymore. I think he's back on practice squad now. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. That's the shit I don't get. Is like, even when you lost A.J. Brown, you had Devontae Smith, and then he got the concussion. Like, you don't even the next game, like, what was the game plan with the wide receivers? Like, there was no game plan at all. Like, not even designed plays for some of these other guys. I mean, is Jahan Dotson not a good player? I can't believe he's not. I honestly can't believe he's not. You're saying, obviously his first 2 years were amazing. Obviously, we could probably say that the offensive coordinator for Washington last year was probably a lot was said that he didn't really use Jahan Dotson the right way. And then there's someone that's close to the Washington Commanders situation with Dan Quinn on why they were able to let go of Jahan Dotson, because Jahan Dotson was like, hey, I deserve my job as the number 2. Jahan Dotson wasn't even making it out of training camp as the number 2, barely even the number 3 receiver in Washington right now. So is Dotson really that big-headed and bad? Or is this still a missed opportunity? I have to believe it's missed opportunity and not using him. Like, don't give up picks for a guy if you're not going to use him as the number 3. I understand he's the number 3, but the Eagles treat the number 3 receiver spot as the redheaded stepchild. They do nothing with that position. Look at Olamide Zaccheaus with Washington. Our number 3 that I thought Olamide was treated wrong, never got the opportunity, came off his best season with the Falcons the year prior, over 500 yards, a couple touchdowns. They did nothing with him. Quez Watkins was an up-and-down receiver, but unfortunately, Quez has had some injuries, and honestly, there were plays that he wasn't paying attention. There were plays, obviously, the Super Bowl was a big one. We couldn't rely on Quez Watkins for those big fucking moments. Unfortunately, that was the case. Olamide Zaccheaus, I don't know what his stats are for the year. I could probably check right now. He had over 100 yards already for the season already. He has 176 yards this season right now. That game against the Browns, it was like 30-something yards for the receiving core together. And Paris Campbell was the favored receiver. Not by much. I don't know. I don't get what this Kellen Moore used wide receiver 3s last year with LA, with the Chargers. I think this is just another part of Nick's game plan, or Nick not really focusing on that position too much, because let me tell you something. Kellen Moore with the Chargers last season, okay? Keenan Allen had his best season of his career last year with the Chargers, okay? Got every receiver involved last year. Running backs way involved in the passing game. It's too much night and day. It's way too much night and day. There's way too much of a record under Nick as the head coach. Wide receiver 3s just look like they're totally inexcused from the season. It's horrible. Horrible. Lord Dagger says, I think Howie is going to see how the edge rushers play Sunday before he makes a move. I agree with that. I do agree. We'll see what happens. If I see Nolan Smith get like 5 sacks, if I see Nolan Smith get like 2 sacks, damn. You know, Nolan Smith even said Nolan Smith said today or yesterday, he's just working on his technique and he needs to attack the crease. He can't attack man to man on a fucking tackle. He's just too undersized for it. But he's got that athletic ability that we know he has. Even like treat him as a wide 9 technique, line him up a little bit wider and let him choose a fucking crevice to go through. Because I think when he works a gap, I think his tools are really going to shine. When he straight on bull rushes a fucking tackle, he doesn't do much of anything. That's why the training camp, when he the one game he had an unblocked sack. I don't care about unblocked sacks. They don't do nothing for me. Okay, especially in training camp, they do nothing for me in preseason games. And then the running back chipped him back to the inside, and he had a free sack. Pretty much, he got chipped. He got pushed by the running back, pretty much chipped him back inside, beating the tackle, barely even touching him, and getting a free sack right there. And people were giving me shit over it. I'm like, that doesn't show me much. But let me tell you, he was aggressive in that last game. I don't care about fucking Andrew Thomas not being at left tackle for the Giants or not. We never expect Nolan Smith to even beat a backup fucking tackle at this point. And look what he's done, Daisy Joey, I got a ticket to get you that LeSean McCoy autograph. I got today, so now I got to get you the picture tomorrow. 1 to 3 is the autograph. If it's in Philly, I can't make it tomorrow. I saw I told you I left you the email to email me. I don't know. I'm not gonna be able to go tomorrow. If you told me earlier in the week, I probably would have able to try, but I don't think I can, unfortunately. I really appreciate it, by the way. I really do. I wish I can get a signed autograph. That'd be fucking awesome. Unfortunately, I can't do it. Email me if you have it. I left a comment under your comment, my email, from the comment you sent me on that. Just email me. Nate says, Baun shoulder okay? Is the Trotter dream dashed already? I don't know. Apparently he practiced today, so I'm not sure. I thought he practiced. Mike Benner says he wasn't here for training camp, and we have him for 2 more years. I bet it will turn out to be a good pickup at some point. You're talking for Nolan Smith? I hope so. I hope so, man. If he can have 5 sacks this year, I'll be fucking happy. I'll be happy. Another off season with Nolan Smith next year, getting bigger in size next year, hitting that weight room a little bit more. Because originally my plan for Nolan Smith was really putting him at cross-training him from edge rusher to outside linebacker. That was really my original, having him as a linebacker at open space because he did it with Georgia. But, his technique, his tool, his tool bag is not great. But it seems like this defensive line, this defense has needed more time. Cooper DeJean in this defense being settled down a lot more. Quinyon Mitchell's getting better by the fucking week. So. PA says, to me, if this offense is way too vanilla and they keep using the same plays all game. Nothing mouse, just chilling. Joe says, Saquon said in an interview, they all love Nick. Ishmael Julian Khan said the game will determine if we make a trade. I agree with that. Somebody said that earlier. Oh, yeah, Lord Dagger said that earlier in the chat. Morrison, I hate how Nick says going for explosive plays, just target the middle and go for small. Yeah, I mean, you need to give, like I said, give what the defense gives you. Make it simple. Check downs. Make it simple. Kellen Moore's offense is all about the short pass game for those big chunk yards because you have the talent at receiver. To throw these gunslinger fucking vert passes downfield, it's not giving the defense any type of challenge. It doesn't make the defense say, well, if you don't throw a check down all game, the defense is just going to say, oh, Jalen Hurts is just going to throw it deep as usual. They're getting ready for it. You don't make the defense worry about anything else the Eagles do offensively. You don't, and that's just the truth to it all, King said, I think it's Jalen's internal clock is going haywire, especially he has protection duties now, agreed, and a new playbook probably just too much on his plate, but he paid $50 million for that, so I don't know. You're not wrong. Kelsey took away a lot of those job duties, which is really stupid. Okay, really dumb. But at least he's doing it now. It's all that matters. And yeah, brand new playbook, I guess. And that doesn't help. Doesn't help that he's had 10 fucking OCs in 8 years. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, I know Hurts gets a lot of shit. I give him shit too. I couldn't give him shit this week because he only passed 14 fucking times. He had a good game. Game management was great by the quarterback and the fucking coaching staff. Oh, that was about Jahan? Okay. You're talking about that. That one you had was about Jahan. I'm hoping, look, they can keep Jahan Dotson for another year. He still has another year left on his contract. So receiver is set. A.J. Brown's locked up. Devontae Smith is locked up. And Jahan Dotson is here for another year. On a cheap, he's only like 3-point-something million next year. He costs nothing. But man, could you do something with him to make me feel good? Like, hey, receiver's set. All 3 positions. Get him involved. Frankie, what's going on? He says, what's your thoughts on Terrifier 3? Oh, it was amazing. It was fucking amazing. Scares Lopez and Joey, what would you say adding Zadarius Smith as a rotational? I think that's a good move. I think that's a cheaper option that gives you some production there. An older guy won't cost as much, but will give you some production. I have no issue with Zadarius Smith. I would rather sign Zadarius Smith than sign a Von Miller. That's just me. Zadarius Smith, I know, has been a pretty consistent player, but obviously getting up there in age, but he will give you, some damage, which is good. So I honestly don't mind it. I don't mind it. Zadarius Smith is not a bad one for me. If they don't want to give up a first-round pick, I get it. Dave said, I don't need you to go. I will get it for you. It's my way to say thank you. Oh, dude, if you could do that, that's great. I mean, look, if you get it, just email me. If you have it, just email me. And dude, that means a lot. You don't even have to do that at all. I appreciate it so much, man. I really do. It means the world, man. I don't think I've ever had an autograph. Actually, I do have an autograph of an Eagles player, but it's from an Eagles player that I might want to go get it and show you the autograph and and see if you got. Hold on. I want to show this. I want you guys to guess what autograph this is. You're gonna fucking laugh. Dude, you know what's really bad? I'm actually forgetting oh, no, I'm not forgetting his name. This thing is dusty as fuck, so I haven't. This thing is so dusty, it's not even funny. You see the number, right? Guess whose autograph this is? You see the number? You're not going to you probably won't figure it out. You won't figure it out. If somebody says his name, I'll shout it out. Look at the number. Look at the number. That's the number right there. Whose autograph is this? You're going to fucking laugh. Hence why I was collecting dust. What's the autograph? Nope. Just throw it. Just throw it. It's number 50. It's 50. Nope, it's not Nigel Bradham. Nobody got it right. Number 50. Nope. Everybody's wrong. This is a guy that nobody wanted. This is a guy that everyone did not like during a really horrible time under a certain coaching staff. It's 50. It's number 50. AJ ignores AJ's yak and Smitty's route running. Did you hear Tom Brady saying deep throws like that aren't good about what's the chicken wing in San Francisco? I don't even know. Hey, somebody got it right. Young Truth. Young Truth got it right. This is Kiko Alonso's autograph. It's real too. It's not fake. It's real. No, it's Kiko Alonso. It's Kiko Alonso. It is. Yep. It's been collecting dust. I mean, it's been collecting dust. So. Yep. Yeah, it was number 50. It was number 50. That's been collecting dust for a while. So for a long time. So other than that, I think honestly, you know, there's a lot in question regarding this game. What a damn shame. Yeah, somebody sold it to me a long time ago. Obviously. No. Young Truth, if you want it, go ahead. If you want it, go ahead. Yeah, he was with the Bills coming off an ACL. Yeah, he literally came off an ACL, came to the Eagles off an ACL. I think when Kiko Alonso had that one-handed interception in the fucking Falcons game at home, remember he had that? I thought he was like, holy shit, man. Like, I thought he was going to be a player after that. But then, yeah. Yeah. I think this game designates what the Eagles do. I think a couple people have already said already this game will designate what the Eagles do for the trade deadline. I think so. But even if I don't know, so if the Eagles, so what do you think? Do you think if the Eagles still have a good game, if the Eagles have a nice pass rush and get say they get 5 sacks on Burrow, do you think they still go after? I mean, I don't see why they don't just add if you want to add somebody at the trade deadline, it's not because you need them, it's for a luxury. It should really be more for luxury. You know what I mean? Yeah, if you guys haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. Appreciate it, Mike. Mike Bittner. Yeah, let's get 200 likes in here. We got to over 200 people. Get 200 likes. I appreciate it so much. You hit the like button. You help out the channel tremendously. Trust me. Hitting that like button does a lot more than you realize. Trust me on that. AJ Brown will be at the place in 2 weeks, but he wants a ridiculous money, $140 for a damn it. Oh, he's a bigger star. I mean, I would think the Lesane McCoy one. I mean, I wouldn't feel like it would be cheap either. Chubb says you keeping DeJean on PR when Covey gets back. Well, Michael Clay said there's going to be a competition, I guess, or maybe they'll see what happens. I would honestly put Covey back. I mean, the only thing you sacrifice with DeJean is more speed. Okay, when you have DeJean over Covey, you're sacrificing a little bit more speed. But Covey, this is what I'm saying, dude. When Covey is that small in the NFL, he gets hit out of bounds. He has a broken collarbone or whatever the fuck it was. I mean, that's all it happens. You know, you paid money for that. I think I did. Shipping isn't a. Oh man. Zachary Lopez has still got to add to the edges. Yeah, I agree. King says after that interception, Joey was never the same when evaluating players and buying autograph. I never buy autograph merch. I buy horror merch off Etsy. I like buying stuff that people create on Etsy more than anything. My main collections right now are popcorn buckets at the movie theater, popcorn buckets, and fucking and horror merch. That's I never collect fucking never collect fucking football autograph shit ever. Nate said, I'm good on Kiko, bro. They said, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really kind of come down to how the offense is doing, whether we're buying or not. Jack Straw said if Coop takes one for a score. I mean, he's had a couple good ones. That one last week I thought was really good, man. He's just got a really he's got meat on his fucking bones. That's the difference. He's got really good vision. He did that at Iowa. He ran punt returns at Iowa. So you kind of see that, you know. Yeah, Khalil Mack is another one, but I don't even know till this point. He's got 3 sacks on the year. He had 17 sacks last season. I'm kind of out on the Khalil Mack thing. As much as Fangio has known Khalil Mack for a lot of years, especially when he was with the with the Bears and stuff like that. That's when he was freshly traded from the Raiders to the Bears. So yeah, popcorn. I just went to go see Venom the Last Dance, and I got the popcorn bucket from there last night. I'm gonna go see Gladiator 2 next month. Go get the popcorn bucket from Gladiator 2. So yeah. I got the Terrifier 3 popcorn bucket, but I got a special one that somebody made for me. I didn't pay $50 for a fucking popcorn bucket that won't even get sent until next year, which is really fucking stupid. You want me to pre-order a popcorn bucket that's not going to come in until fucking March, April? What's the fucking point? Ridiculous. He says, Covey looks like an abused spouse in preseason. He was so black and blue. I barely recognized them. How do you get your face bruised with a helmet on? What do you mean? Did he really? His face was bruised? I didn't know that. Yeah, I know. Sometimes the Terrifier 3 one I wasn't going to get till next year. Everybody was pre-ordering them. They were like, holy shit, I'm not going to get it till next year, March, April. Movie came out in like a week, and everyone's like, wait a second, I'm not going to get it till fucking next year. Stupid. I never got the Dune one, no. Nope. King said, please, Howie, if you could hear me, please stay away from Khalil Mack or Von Miller and Chase. Yeah, Chase Young's another one. I think he's Chase Young. What did he do against us when we faced the Saints? I don't think he's done much. Even when he went to the 49ers, people were hyping that fucking move up, and he didn't do nothing. What did he do? He was part of a good rotation, a deep defensive line for San Francisco. I think he would be a waste. They sign him, I'll be like, okay. Like, how else am I? You know, it doesn't really bother me that much, you know. Dave says, did you get the Dune? Oh, no, I already that. Dave said, I got Bill Burry, David Akers, Lane Johnson, Jason Kelsey, BG, and Brent Stella front car of the store autograph sessions. Oh, Bernie Parent. Oh, shit. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Lee Bowski, $50 pre-order popcorn bucket. What the hell is this world? Yeah, that's the most expensive one that I've seen. The Venom popcorn bucket was like $33. That's normal, $30. For like a popcorn bucket, it's like $30. For a cup, it's like 20 something. $50, I'm like, fuck no. You want to see a popcorn bucket somebody made for me? My very own popcorn bucket? I'll show you. Sorry, a lot of show and tell tonight. This is a popcorn bucket somebody gifted me. This was someone gifted me. This is a popcorn bucket that I got. This is a homemade popcorn bucket from Terra. This is one that somebody made. That they're pretty expensive because they put a lot of work. This is a popcorn bucket that somebody made. This was a gift that I didn't even have to pay for from one of the subscribers of Terrifier 3, Art the Clown. And yeah, fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. See? Big popcorn. What? I should have brought this to the theater, but like, you know? So, got this from somebody. Fantastic. He's got blood running down his face. It's awesome. It's awesome. That's what I call it. That's what I call a fucking popcorn bucket. That's a damn popcorn bucket. Hell yeah. You know? But yeah, it's fucking awesome. What's the movie about? It's just about I mean, there's a story to it now. You should check it out. You should check it out. It's good. If you're into gory shit, you'll love it. No, it didn't come with popcorn. No. No, I almost brought that with me I didn't bring it with me though, because I was afraid if I drop that thing, it's gonna break. Like if I drop that once, it's done. That's the only problem. I'm gonna like have it in my hand and it's gonna fall out. My bidder said, I feel like we just need a bigger guy at edge to rotate, and a lot of our guys are on the small side with some speed that don't get the tackles tired enough through and out games. No, I agree. Lisa's just IMDb it. Yeah, just type in the name of the movie, what's it about, and they'll give you a description. He painted it. So he actually made the mold. He made the actual mold and then he painted it. Yeah. So he actually did the mold for it. So the shape of it, he like made the mold for it. He copy and pasted the mold through a machine and then he painted it. Yeah. Mouse, it doesn't have good lore. That's what makes a good movie. Yeah, the first movie, there's no lore at all. The second movie, there's a story with new characters, so it builds up. Oh, it's gonna be on the shelf, no doubt. Like I got a whole bunch of I'm changing this whole room around soon, so real soon. But other than that, guys, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, how do you guys feel about Sunday? I'm hoping we get the win. We get the 5-2. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, man. So pretty much the schedule, the shakedown is tomorrow. Me and Philly will be talking about the matchups, what's going on, everything happening with the trade deadline this week, what's going to happen. Shakedown tomorrow night. Sunday, I'll be streaming the game at 1 o'clock. And then we'll have post-game shakedown. We'll have videos out. If you guys haven't followed me on TikTok at all, link is in the description for that because I do all my live stream reactions on TikTok, and I put all that stuff there because I don't really put the reactions with the video of the play on YouTube. So, yeah, that's where we're at. I don't know how long I've been streaming for. Almost, not too bad. Young Truth with a super chat says, for 50, it better damn have some special effect. We mean for 50. What are you talking about for 50? Oh, for the fucking pop. No, it doesn't. It does nothing. No, it doesn't light up. It doesn't, nothing. It doesn't do anything, unfortunately. What's going on, Matt? Joey, look for that email. I'm going to send you 2 photos I picked out. Let me get them, take pictures here in a couple minutes. You have the email? Let me put it in. I don't know if you got it still, so I'm just going to put it in. Sorry, I forgot to put the dot where gmail.com is. Just put in that. So email me if you got to email me. We're good. So, yeah, let me, I guess that's it. I mean, we'll get ready for the shakedown. I will have a video out at 3 a.m. in the morning, nice and early, to talk about some things, and we'll be ready to go. So I appreciate everybody for the super chats. Very grateful. Appreciate you just letting me be me, and I appreciate everybody that just hangs out and we do our thing, We'll be streaming the game on Sunday, live play-by-play reaction. Come join up, and we'll be, we'll have the shakedown tomorrow night to talk about the matchup and a lot more going on. So, other than that, that's pretty much it. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys on the next one. Love you all. Shakes Code Up, follow side. Peace out, guys.